Hello YouTubers. So today I'm going to try to teach you how to use up those weird bits of cardboard that is just sitting in your packaging that you can actually reuse. Today I'm going to be highlighting packaging from candy. Cardboard on one side, kind of shiny white on the other, or just plain shiny-ish and dull white on the other. You'll get like the really big long packs of Reese cups in these, or like the little little fun size candy bars in them. Any one where your candy doesn't directly touch is what you want. Or I love these. These and these are dividers between tea bags. I think I got these out of Lipton, and these are out of the Louisiana, and they're just the regular tea bags, big old boxes of them. I've been pilfering these for a long time. I have quite a few. By a few, I mean obsessively a lot, and there could be more, quite honestly, but that's why we're hoarders, not crafters. Just saying. Now, when you do these up, and that's all I've done, I've gotten these as a result by painting them up and using them as bookmarks. I've also done these with markers, stamps, and regular ink. Distress ink or StazOn. Now these ones were the ones that were white on the top, and I put no gesso, and this is how they came out, with regular craft paint. I put on the colors, I dabbed on some color to accent, and then I did metallics. I don't know if you can see that. Cool colors in the back, or warm colors in the back. Color dabbed on, and then these are the metallics. So I've edged it in black, just regular. I think I used the gloss acrylic craft. So today I'm just going to be showing you that, how I do it. But it's sort of just something to sort of say, hey, don't forget about those weird packaging scraps too, not just big containers, like cereal boxes or boxes for your granola bars for the kid, or whatever. You can do these little ones too, and yeah, you think, oh, what can I do with that? You can make a border, I'm sure, or something like that, but I love these as bookmarks. These seem pretty thick, but they're really not that thick, and they make great bookmarks, and so I've given these as gifts and just given them away to people that I really like, that I know are readers. So I think these look really pretty. So let's give it a whirl. So of course what you'll need is paint galore, some sort of thin cardboard if that's what you wish. I'm sure you could use any other strange little kinds of packaging that you want. I'll try to do it on both so you can kind of see. I'd probably prep it by taking off this a little bit. You can probably use these as bookmarks too. Just because they're thin doesn't mean you can't use them. But if you detach them now, you can make them any color you like, and they don't have to be all the same color. So we'll do that. Gonna need a paintbrush. Now what I've done is I've gotten one that's slightly on the small side, kind of scrubby kind of brush, I guess. Mine's kind of stiff. I've cleaned it with soap, but I don't know. Obviously a little jar of water and something to dab off your brush so it's not too wet. You kind of more want a dry brush technique, I've noticed. And then obviously someplace to put your little dry paint nubbies. Remember, these could be useful in mixed media, so don't throw them away. And then when you have anything left, any paint, and you want to move on to something, but you have too much paint down, obviously, you're going to want your art journal or something to paint off in, so that way you can get rid of the paint and not completely waste it, because you know us, we're not about waste. So, phew, let's relax in here. Let's relax. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find colors that coordinate. Now, when I say that, when I learned from the last video that I talked about with mixing cool colors or warm colors, oranges, reds, pinks, yellows, they all blend very well. Those are warm colors. The cool colors are blues and greens and purples, and those blend well. Now the complementary colors obviously are going to be opposite on the color wheel, so you know you're going to want something that's a reddish or an orangish color, and those will complement purple, for instance. I should probably bring over my color wheel, but I didn't think to bring that. So go look it up. I'll put a link down below about the lady that did a great job at explaining warm and cool colors, and I really think that that was really great in teaching me much better how to use my jelly plate and have warm and cool colors and complementary colors. So there's the mixing part and then the complementary part. So you're going to want to get stuff that sort of would work well together first. So we'll do a little bit of pink and a little bit of orange. We'll do some yellow. And just for a deeper pop, some red. So we'll do some bright red, some yellow, just regular yellow, some pink. This is, I think, just regular old pink, passion pink. It's not too much on any weird end, and this is pure pumpkin. Now, the girl in the video said you want to have the purest of their shades. You don't want anything that's in a mixture of reddish orange or, you know, yellow orange or something, but I've found that any of them work. For instance, I've done coral, which is a pinky, almost a pinky orange. It's really weird, but I really like this color, kind of mixed in as an extra little touch of something. And then my other favorite color so far is poppy orange, and poppy orange is more of a red orange, but I think they all really blend well together, so I don't know, it works. But we're going to do that. And what you're going to want to do, and like I said, I did not use gesso, is just sort of lay out little blobbies of color, and you don't need much. I should probably shake these up. And you just sort of blob it on like you're going to do the jelly plate. And get it so that way it sort of is a graduated color scheme, but they'll mix and intermix and interblend, and it'll look good. Like if you can see on this one, I really don't know if that's in frame, if you can see that from where I am. Yeah, there's some yellow right in here, so it'll look streaky and blendy and good. And see on the blue and purple and green one, there's more green at this end and more blue on that end. So if you blend it just right, you kind of see all of it. But in my opinion, this is a really good way of getting to be kind of blended naturally, as opposed to doing one color and then another color and then another color. So, and now what I was doing was just sort of doing this. And when you blob it down, it sort of wants to leave a blobby circle in the middle, which is weird, but it sort of blends out in the end. Now, you can kind of see the white through this, but I don't think it looks too bad. And I'm going to let this one dry while we're working on the other one. But I try not to do it too much. And it is leaving these weird blobby streaks for whatever reason. It might be because I don't have gesso down, but if you want to gesso it, you can. You don't have to. I've done it, and I don't have a problem with how it looks. It's sort of working out the blobbies, if you notice. But there's that. When that's done drying, which it dries really quickly, surprisingly enough, I promise you can probably add a little bit more color to the others on the top, I mean, as a layer, and it doesn't necessarily look too terrible, and it helps to create some of the depth. I do believe I had to add a little yellow just so it could kind of really pop, and I guess just for posterity's sake, I will just clean this up so it's not all over the darn place. I hope I'm speaking loud enough. My family is all asleep right now. I'm trying not to be too loud, but I'm trying not to be too loud, but I do want to talk through this so you know what I'm doing. I do think some stuff deserves an explanation. So for this one, I think what I'll do is mix it up a little. Actually, I think we'll do poppy orange, and we'll do coral. We'll do Tutti Frutti. So those three colors I think might be pretty good. We'll see. So these are small, so you shouldn't need too much paint. Oh. Can trust to talk at this end of the house. I think it's not too bad. If the fridge is not running right now, I do feel really loud. Excuse me. If anything, just put on your headphones if you can't hear me, please. I'm trying to be quiet. The family is asleep. Be mindful of that, please. So, just gonna do this. Push it in that direction. I feel like I just really washed out all that color, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. It's Tutti Frutti. Back to the scent this time. Don't want to over mix it. Looks pretty good so far. A lot of color. Okay, so this one I think I'm going to use some neon scorching yellow and see how it turns out. Oh god. I'm putting it on my paint page. Finger painting. And then maybe some squash blossom. That'd be different. It's just coming out. I'm so sorry. I've been leaving my paints in a container upside down. They're always ready to go usually. And then I can see what colors they are. I did dab on the top of the lids the colors, and it still was hard for me to tell exactly what shade I was looking at, so I just turned them upside down, the way Secret Soda does. Okay. I said screw it, and I did it. There's a hair on it. one's coming out pretty thin too. You can see through to the white, but maybe that'll look pretty good actually. So, your brush is dry enough. You have it only on the ends of the brush. You can definitely just get some brush stroke lines and it looks pretty cool. I think so anyway. So, there's that. Now, I've never tried the cardboard craft side of these dividers. We shall see how it comes out. Like I said, I painted on the white side of these, so I don't know how this will come out. If your colors might look darker. But, yeah. So, I'm taking my art journal for an advantage of getting rid of some of this paint, but I'm not using it too much, so. Okay, so now this time I think I'm going to use cool colors. Now I'm going to use some of my favorites. I think Bluegrass Green, which is a blue green. I'm so sorry. A Sour Apple and Regal Purple. Now, Regal Purple is pretty dark, so hopefully that and this will help the colors to show up on this craft color. I'm sure. I think I used it in this one. It showing up on white was pretty good, but let's see how it shows up on just the craft side. So, once again, I'm going to put out the colors in a way that makes sense, so that way they're sort of gradient. Darkest to lightest kind of thing is what I mean. And we'll see if that ends up helping it to sort of cover better. I'm not shaking leaves like I should. I always forget to do that. I wonder why I get watery blobs. So I'll start at this end. Yeah, this is pretty light. Ooh. That color is really pigmented. God, that's an awesome blend, I'm sorry. Totally awesome. But we're going to need more purple. We're going to want this to work. Whoa, that was way too much. Way too much. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to show the people what it's like. Oh my god. I'm sure it can be salvaged in some way. Probably by doing exactly what I'm doing. Just try to subdue it by taking off some of this. Oh my goodness. And putting it onto the paper over there. And then putting back some of the color that I just lost by having that huge amount of purple. That was, see, that's like people. Blunders. Blunders are bound in real life. Don't you love it? Okay, that was looking so cool before. Let's see if we can save it. Oh my god, these dry blobs, I swear. That's looking pretty cool though. I do have to say. Okay, I think we've salvaged it. Thank goodness. Too bad considering the craft is pretty dark. It's hard for stuff to show up in true color. I guess if you wanted, you could take the craft side and gesso it first so you know things come up as the true color rather than, you know, dark and dingy and what the heck color is that? That's up to you. If you don't mind it being like this, then it'll work. I think this will work. I like it. It does look a little thin on that end, but if it really shows up once it's dried, I'll just add a little more BB without messing it up. Okay, so now that the warm colored ones are dry, sorry, my water thing is clearly right next to the microphone of my iPad, which is what I film on. That's all I've got. If you want something better, go to someone else. That's all I have. Back when I did my YouTube videos for my other channel, Morbid Kitty Prod, I was using a video camera, old style from 2004, and it was probably nothing that my computer now can handle, so the iPad is the only thing that I can use that's easy enough to use. Okay, so on this, I think for a good contrasting color, I think I will use this. Yeah, I think I'll use this. And I'm just going to take out of the cap very gently. Just put it on the end of the paintbrush. I don't know what I was about to say. And I would just kind of go through and just sort of make little brush marks. Too much. You think my brush was a little too wet, but I'm going to take back some of these big blobbier ones so they don't dry too harsh, but I think it looks pretty cool. Let's use a different color. I think this bluegrass green, which I am absolutely loving that color. I think that's a semi-new one to my collection of a lot of paint that I've got. I did have them in, what am I doing? I did have them in a little box that has a lid, and that just got to be ridiculous. They weren't all fitting, so I just did this big old basket from, I don't even want to hazard to guess where it's from, Walmart, Dollar Tree, not even sure. So that's what that looks like. I think that looks pretty cool. And then take the other one. Well, indeed, look pretty cool with the sour apple. If it gets too old doing that, just alternate and do some sort of a pattern. And then, of course, I forgot to bring over my Dauber brush. I'm back. This one seems dry. We can do a little background with that. Got this little dauber that you can use to make little circles, or at least blotches. If you don't put too much paint on it, it just looks really cool in my opinion, but I don't know, maybe I'm just easily amused. So, let's do this. I do think on this one I'm going to use a baby blue, or Indian turquoise, as this one is actually called. Just because it's light, not necessarily that it's complementary color. It's actually a part of the cool color family, but I think it would look good. So in that case, I'm going to use this. And I don't think the purple looks too bad. I think there's way too much on this one. I'm about to try to dip my brush right into the freaking paint bottle. Just pounce the heck out of it. And be gentle if you want to see the brush marks. So, I really like that. So, then what I did was dip my brush in the water. I used the Pouncer brush with the metallics as a top layer. Now, and of course there's a brush hair on there, whatever. So, with that said, I think I want to use Peacock Pearl. Love this color. Love it. And then maybe the Warren Penny. Or, this wasn't even upside down. Oh, here it is. Spun gold. Maybe, yeah, we'll do gold. Okay. I also did this right out of the cap. Okay, maybe I just got way too much, but I don't even think you can tell. I'm trying not to push too hard, so it's not heavy. Technically on this other one, I probably had pushed too hard, if you can tell. And a lot of the paint was all over the place. Kind of sponged. You'll have to excuse me if I'm vulgar and pornographic. That's just me. People at my work know that that's how I am even. Next thing you know, I'll be sued for sexual harassment, but you know, they know me well enough to know that I'm joking, and if I don't think they can handle it, I don't joke like that. That's way too much. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's too wet. We'll see how it dries. Yeah, that one got really bubbly. I think this might have been too wet still, but we shall see. I put a lot on there because there's so much space. I may be able to split this up the middle. Okay, so on this one, I think I'm just going to add the gold. I'll just do it. There we go. We'll see. They look much better once they're dried, I swear. Now, this other one, I want to use the purple. The Metallics, Dazzling Metallics by Deco Arts is called Amethyst in purple. It's so pretty. So we're going to have to tap that off. Now, I don't know if I'm cleaning my brush right. Or, not my brush, but this. I'm just doing what I can to get the excess color and excess water out. There, that's better. It's not so soppy. Oh, I missed it. There we go. So, Oh, did you hear my hip pop? I'm like an old lady. I'm gonna be 36 exactly in a month, so I am an old lady. Okay, so I'm an old lady just enough. Not truly, but technically, if I had a baby right now, I would have a geriatric pregnancy. I learned that at work. Someone at my work is pregnant, and she said, she's my age. And the doctor told her, you have a geriatric pregnancy. I'm like, a what? Didn't realize. That would be me if I ended up having a kid right now, or past now. Geriatric pregnancy, that's me. Okay, this is bubbling up and looking really hellaciously creepy, but reminds me of freaking gremlins trying to die, but look at that texture. But it'll look cool when it's dried, I swear. Now, for this one, God, that's looking really cool. It's really cool. I'm sorry. I think with this one, I'm definitely going to do the warm penny, because that copper on that blue is just so beautiful. On this other one, which I think had the purple and the copper on it, or penny, whatever. So I'm going to definitely do the warm penny, which looks like this, at least for now. That's old and this is new, so the design looks different, but the color, I do believe, hasn't changed. I think it's still called Warm Penny. I've noticed some colors have changed name-wise over the years when it comes to these craft paints, so don't be surprised if some of my janky old ones have a different color names than when you go to the store. So if you see some colors that you like here because they're colors you've never heard of or seen, you can go to get them. Don't blame me if the name is different. For instance, this is an old paint from back when my mom and I were crafting, and this is in the 90s, 97, 95, called Sea Aqua. These days I bought the color again. It's called Sea Breeze now. Same color, same brand. The label looks different. I think it got bought out by, no? It has always been Deco Art Americana. But the name looks different. Same color though. You can tell it is. So, that's why I say the name, color name has probably changed, but it's still the same. I'm just going to do a little bit more in between, because this is just too awesome. Okay, do some swirlies on the paper. Everybody can deal with some swirlies. It's just not going away. There's so much. And that never deterred me, but who needs a page full of copper? So there's my painting page of, paint off. Not that that looks good or anything, but these are pretty much done, but not dry. But I think I can do the edges of it not too badly. It's starting to dry, if you notice. I think this one's a little too bubbly still. Hopefully that dries pretty good. This one is drying. This one's a little too bubbly. But you see, it is evening out and it is looking pretty cool. If you have to, or if you want to, I'm sure that on these little edges you could probably take a little nail file or some sort of piece of sandpaper to smooth it out so that way it's not so rough. I'm going to move these to the side. Okay, so the mostly dry brush, I have been taking gloss black paint, and I'm sure you could use any of, whether it's matte, maybe even metallic. My metallic black. I can't even tell that it's metallic. It sort of annoys me, so I don't even bother using it. Maybe I should use it just so it's out of the way. Try to take enough paint. We're going to paint the edges. I might leave this one whole. If I don't, I'll just split it down the middle and then paint those edges, but I at least wanted to show you how I paint the edges. So I sort of do that. So that way it kind of does the top, the middle, the edges that matter. Do that if you have to. Notice I haven't really had to go back for more paint. I'm about to now. I just made myself a liar. I just don't want to glob too much on. For whatever reason. I just don't. Now that I've put it down, I don't think I can pick it back up. Not without messing up the paint. So I don't feel like going to get something to sand these sides, so I'm just not going to. Because I'm lazy. That's probably way too much over the edge, but oh well. There's not wet paint on my thumb. Oh my god. Sorry if you can't see. Trying to do it so you can see, but see there's some right there that I need to fix. I sort of just run it across. I wanted to actually do a video where I explain what in the heck I'm doing. So people, if they're new, can learn something. Me, I'm all about the talking head videos these days. I really don't care if people are talking to me about what's going on in their life and they're going off topic. So this video is definitely for those who don't care about chatty Cathy's. They actually like it. If you don't like that, you can press the little wheel. You can press ×2 speed, or maybe it's 2.5, I don't even remember. Put on some music that you like, and just don't listen to my mouth. Just watch. That's all you. And I will not judge you for it. I've done it before too, or if I'm at work, and it's in the middle of the night, it's in between rounds, I'm a nurse aide in hospice. Guess what I do? I get on YouTube, I'll watch videos, and if I'm floating to where I don't have earbuds with me, I have to listen to it muted. I have to try to watch videos that don't have people talking to explain things. I just deal with it. So it looks a little bit messy, but unlike the others, but I don't think it looks too bad. It's looking really cool, if I may say so myself. I have tried before to be just really careful and do this, but it doesn't work, so I just sort of, I do what I can. I try to do this, and it still comes out kind of the same, so it's whatever. Do it whatever way that seems to work for you. Yeah, see, I'm doing it that way, and it's kind of not any easier than just putting half on the top, half on the bottom, going right down. I'm sort of not caring how much paint is on the brush with this part, because what I want is coverage. I just don't want it to be too gloopy, but I don't want it to be too faint. trying to put a border on here, for God's sake. Not texture. I think it looks good. Come to think of it, it looks a lot like the other cool one, only not so blue, because this one has more purple in it. Figure out how I can hold it. And I only say that because I think I used Indian turquoise on both of them for the little brush pounces. So this is a new one. And I think that's pretty good, seeing as this is not white, this is craft, and this was white. It's not too bad coverage-wise. I think they look pretty good, pretty comparable. Now, I do want to say that I don't know how these are going to stick to book pages, because I know how paint can be once even dried. It acts weird. Let's test this theory. So, one of my new favorite books, this is from the show Dexter. Let's just pretend it's been sitting for a while and has had itself against it. Here it's sticking, so I think these should be good. I think that's taking into consideration a lot of these are flat. They don't say in particular that they are gloss. Even the metallics are not really saying that they dry to a gloss finish, so I think that's part of the good point. I'm sure if you used high-end, high-gloss paints, I'm sure that you would end up getting some sticking. And with heavy body, I don't know if these are heavy body. These come out really gloppy and really almost sticky when you're done. This is Royal Langnickel. I got this on clearance, as you see. I got it for $1.50. It was 50% off, so I guess it was $3 to begin with. Yeah, $3. And that's the only reason why I got it. I wanted to see how these thicker ones do. And it is pretty darn thick, so I think it's semi-heavy body. I don't really know, because it doesn't really say. It just says it's acrylic. Bright, intense, and permanent. Using cleaned, primed surfaces. Doesn't really say if it's heavy body, but I'm pretty sure if you use a heavy body, they tend to come out really glossy. Those might stick to your pages, maybe. I have noticed that about the thicker, heavy-bodied paints that I do have, which is not many. So maybe be careful with that. But these platter paint ones, they're doing pretty good. Not sticking to my finger, so I would assume that they wouldn't stick to the page. So yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about how to paint on your excess strange cardboard pieces of candy wrappers and tea dividers to use them up as, in my case, bookmarks. I'm more than sure that you could make the thinner ones into embellishments, these thicker ones into, I don't know, your imagination, use it, and, figure out using it as a border or something for a page, or maybe putting it on something else. I don't know, but I see these and I instantly think bookmark. Like I said, I might split this one up the middle, and then that'll be its own bookmark too. But I think these would be really cute to go with a birthday card or something, so that way it's just a little gift. It's nothing humongous or anything. And I'm more than sure that you could probably flat kind of glue things on, like images or something, or napkins. I'm more than sure you can do napkins and it wouldn't add too much bulk, because it will be a bookmark. So you do want to be cognizant of the fact that you're going to have too much bulk if you add too much to it. But you can very easily stamp on these if you want. can show you that in another video, because I want to do distress inks and that sort of thing on one of these next. So stay tuned for that, because I have a couple that came out really good, I thought, and they were on the craft ones. So they looked a little dingier and darker than they probably should have, but I thought they looked pretty cool. But thanks for watching.